Hey guys, welcome back, Drip and Farm for Pop. I'm host Drip Coach, and let's jump right into it. Now, I am not a technical analyst by any means, but I did find this to be relatively interesting, and I'm going to show you how there's a simple catalyst that could exponentially pump drip, and it should be coming. We don't have any control over it, but just to show you how easily things can change and shift, of course, to the upside or the downside. I want to just dive into a little bit of that TA in here, as well as the psychological levels that cross that. So first and foremost, if you're not familiar, let's go back over here first. If you're not familiar how the drip price is calculated, I've showed this multiple times, but I need to break it down again. This is how the drip price is calculated. The total, the circulating supply in the contract that can be sold from the native DEX, and divided by the total amount of BNB in USD value. So this is the amount of BNB in the contract. So 2,390, and then you multiply that by the current price of BNB, which is currently sitting at $237.42, right? That's here. So that's why that's why the drip price is always changing. And then when you look at the pancake swap price, this is the arbitrage. So if this changes dramatically, then the price pumps here, and by arbitrage, people will go over to pancake swap, buy it because it's going to be cheaper because it pumped here. Then they're going to sell it into the native DEX, and then it'll equalize out to about that 12% spread. Now, what I want to show you first is, remember I showed you how the whales, well, at least those top 10 wallets, when I average that out, they have that 50 cents is this average price. And in technical analysis and trading, there's the psychological prices, usually even numbers, especially things divisible by 5. So we would definitely have something at $1, and that's not only a psychological level, but it's also where we almost pumped to back here. Where was it? Yeah, back here on the native DEX. So yeah, it was around this time frame in February. So we got there on the native DEX, I think it was like 97, 92 cents. And then we fell off on pancake swap, basically due to arbitrage. But what I'm getting at is that that's going to be a psychological level for drip. And also this 50-cent level that I pointed out based off of the number of tokens that whales have accumulated is going to also be a psychological level. That's not only psychological, but it's also mathematical from the average amount that they have in their wallet and what the cost price was. Now, what's interesting to note with that is I've just added these moving averages. So all this is the different color. The purple moving average is the 200-day moving average closing price. So the average price of drip over a 200-day period as it's moving across the total time frame. So as of right now, that moving average is at 35 cents. Very interesting. And then you come down to the 100-day, and it's at 25 cents, and the 50-day is at 23, and the 20-day is at 18. So we're right at that 20-day, right above that 20-day average. So I could see, again, based off that psychological level of 50 cents and that being above the average price of 200 days being just under 7 months, ironically, right when all this started, January, when a lot of that liquid drip started being accumulated. So if someone started accumulating from January until now, if they were to be DCAing at these prices, basically buying all through from January till now, their average price would be 35 cents. So that means without any depositing into the faucet, not getting that 1% per day. So that's just interesting, is all I can say. So with that and that average price that I showed you being 50 cents from those whales, I would expect us to meet a lot of resistance between 35 and 50 cents. I think we can pump right through that, and that's what I'm going to show you, but I think we'll fall back down between here because there's a lot of drip that can be sold in between those levels. Now, back over to this. This is the how easy it would be to get a 25% price increase. So showed you here, price is determined by the contract balance in USD divided by the supply. So we can look at that in a chart very, very easily. So as of right now, actually it changed already. It's 3.36 in the supply, but I had 3,033,000, and now it's 3,036,000. But either way, you take that BNB balance that I had there, 2,390, by the current price of BNB. Now what I did here is add a low in the last year, and that's what drip would drop to on the native DEX if we hit that price. So where did I find that? Simply coming over here, looking at the last year, go here, zoom out to 1 year, and then right here in what is this, December, we got down to 197. So that would be the low price that we've seen in the last year. You go out further than that, BNB has been much lower, but pretty much from the bull run onward, we're in decent shape. We've only touched down to the 200s twice, and now we're sitting at 237. So that being said, the high that we had in BNB, not high, but one of the averages that we were sitting at for the bulk of this year was in the 300 range. We only had this wick down twice, but for the most part, we were sitting around 300. And if BNB were to go back up, and here's a perfect example of how that could happen. So this was December 17th. We were at 227, and then we shot back up to 330. So $100 added to BNB in just over a month and a half. So 45 days. And in right at a month, it's basically from 227 to 300. So BNB going to $300 is not unrealistic. It's done it quite often, and it does seem to like that range, but obviously that's going to be dependent on the market. But here's the cool part. If BNB did go back to 300, we would automatically get, with the exact same supply, nothing changing at all. So let's just say that happened overnight. It won't, but if it did, that means our BNB balance that we have in the contract wouldn't change, and the supply wouldn't change, and the price would automatically be 23 cents instead of 18. So that is a 25% price increase. Now, just for S and Gs, we can look at the all-time high, which is shown here, 686, and that was on May 10th, 2021. Well, if that happened overnight, we would now have a 54-cent drip price. So we would be over that psychological level already with just the price of BNB, nothing else happening at all. How cool is that? Now here's another fun feature. Decided to do a little Google research, BNB price prediction for 2025. So by the next bull run after the halving cycle, BNB is expected to 2x from its previous all-time high. Altcoins typically do that. So I could see BNB doing that, or at least getting into the 4-digit range, possibly. And then of course, trickling back down. But for a brief moment, if we were sitting at that price right now, drip would almost be $1 on the native DEX without any change in anything else. So again, the whole point of this is just to show you how easy it is for the drip price to pump. Now, sustainable is a totally different story, because as I pointed out multiple times, you have all of this drip being accumulated and people will indeed be taking profits. I will finally be in profits in this range here as well. So I think my average price is like 35 cents with taxes now if I were to sell. So this will look very attractive to me as well. And of course, anybody else in my similar situation over the past 18 months that have been exhibiting positive behavior in drip would also be looking for profit. So there's going to be a lot of sell pressure. But if we can get green candles and we get a nice little sustainable pump on BNB, which theoretically, I'm not a soothsayer with a crystal ball, but they are saying that this is drip summer, so nothing parabolic happens. But into the fall, in the halving that'll take place April of next year, we're less than a year away from the halving, give or take a month or two. So the next 6 months could be very interesting, and towards the end of the year and beginning of next year. So just want to show you what those numbers look like and how the price of drip can change dramatically just based off of BNB. Now, again, it will have to settle back down with pancake swap and the arbitrage, but that is the benefit of the sword and shield, and just showing you how this supply and the BNB balance that we have can shift dramatically. I mean, without affecting these two variables, we can already, I don't even know what that is. Yeah, I guess equivalent of 5x drip almost, because you're 5xing the BNB price. So it makes kind of perfect sense. All right, that's all I got. Hope that provides value, some clarity, and some hopium. If it did, smash that HBO special up, brother. I'd like to subscribe, comment down below, and until next time, live daily and achieve your impossible. See ya. Want to pay your in real life bills with crypto? How about send crypto directly to anyone with a bank account? SPRITZ Finance is a decentralized solution to be your own bank and connect your crypto earnings to real-world bills and payments. They do not take custody of your assets and allow support on multiple blockchains and Web3 wallets. Sign up below using my referral link and you will get $50 back when you make your first $50 bill payment with crypto. Additionally, I will be using referral bonuses to airdrop, donate, or burn based on community feedback. Sign up now.